everybody. Welcome back for session 3 of JR Nation. So Scott, can you tell us, how did you end up in your present career position now, and how did you go about making choices to get there?
Well, it really kind of goes right back to when I was pretty young. I kind of wound up in sales because we had a friend of the family who worked for a tennis shoe company in San Antonio, Texas. And like with any manufacturer, sometimes you make products and they don't come off the production line in a perfect condition. And so they normally would just take those shoes and just donate them. But then they came to me, the gentleman who was a friend of mine, I was 15, 16 years old. I just started driving. I just had my first truck. And so what they did is they made a deal with me that I could buy each pair of shoes. You guys are going to laugh, but I could buy each pair of shoes for $5 a pair. And these were brand new tennis shoes. And these were special tennis shoes. They're called Kappa. You can still look them up. It's Kaeppa. And what they're really known for now is cheerleading shoes. But the difference of these shoes versus anybody else's is that each shoe has 2 laces, not 1. And so it really snugs your foot up really tight. Well, long story short is I would buy the shoes for $5. And on the weekends, I would go down to a flea market and I would sell them for $15. So I would make $10 a shoe. So a lot of weekends I would sell 20 or 30 shoes. So I'd make $200 or $300. And this would be 1978, 79. That's probably equivalent to making $800 to $1,000 a day this year. So that's how I got into selling. And then as I worked my way through high school and college, I waited tables. And you may not think about it, but waiting tables is a sales job, right? Because you're talking to people and you're making suggestions. And at the end of the meal, you come up and you go, "You guys save room for dessert. We've got brand new cheesecake we made, or an Oreo chocolate pie that we just made." And so again, I was selling in there. And then I took other little sales jobs during college to pay for because I paid for my own school to do that. So when it got ready for me to come out of college, I was, my counselor already knew it. I already kind of knew it. I was headed for a sales job for a couple of reasons. One, I really like talking, if you couldn't tell that. 2, I really like people. So I like interacting with people. I like talking to people. 3, I'm a pretty smart guy. I can think pretty fast. I'm a very creative guy. I can look at a problem or a situation or a product, and I can probably tell you 5 different ways that you could sell that product that you've never even heard of. And that's just kind of how my mind works. Remember, everybody's mind thinks differently. So I kind of just worked my way into doing selling. And because when I was in college, because I worked in so many restaurants, when it came time for me to graduate from college, I went into the food service industry, and I went into what's called a broker. And what that means is that there are companies, I was a food broker, and there are companies like Lipton, who makes tea, Nabisco, who makes Oreo cookies, Heinz 57 that makes ketchup. These companies would pay brokers all throughout the United States to sell their products for them. So our job was to go into restaurants and convince them, "Hey, you really should buy Oreo cookies. Here's some recipes for you. Here's some signage for you. You really should buy Heinz 57 ketchup instead of Hunt's ketchup. Ours is better. Ours is thicker. Ours is more tomatoey." And so it was very natural for me to go selling into restaurants because I've been working 6 years in different restaurants. So I'm very comfortable in the restaurant. And that's how I wound up in the restaurant industry. I now sell restaurant equipment, but it's really no big difference to me. Equipment, food, it's still in the restaurant. I know how to use the equipment. I know what it's there for. So I'll give you just the best advice that I give you. I've given it to my 3 daughters. I'll give it to my 3 granddaughters when they get older. What you want to do is you're going to probably get a lot of people saying, "Oh, you should do this, you should do this." find what you absolutely love. What excites you? What challenges you? What makes you really think? And after you're done with it, do you say to yourself, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. And I don't care if it's working on cars, if it's writing papers, if it's working on the computer, if it happens to be selling, if you want to teach and be an educator, whatever it is that you go, wow, this is really interesting, and you could see yourself in the future getting out of bed and being excited to go to work, that's where you need to be. That's where you need to focus, because you really want to be in an area that motivates you to be the best you can be. And if you're having to go to work, if you really didn't like working on cars and your job was to go be a mechanic, every day you go to work, you're going to be dreading it. But if you love working on cars and you're always tinkering and you're always exploring, you're going to wake out of bed, you're going to, eat your breakfast, get your clothes on, and you're going to be out the door going, yeah, I got to get to work. I want to see what's going on. We work 8 to 10 hours a day. You might as well make it something you love. There you go.
That is great advice, students. You definitely need to love what you do, because you are going to spend more time at work than you are at home with your own family. And you also need to like the people that you work with. Okay, guys, so we will see you next time for session 4. Bye.